She broke into my house at 6:47 in the morning. Not a burglar, my HOA president. I mean, picture this. Door flies open, and there's Karen, standing in my living room, reeking of vanilla perfume and entitlement, clipboard cocked and ready. I hadn't even poured my first cup of coffee, and she's already waving a $500 fine in my face for unauthorized window treatments. Tosses the violation down like I'm yesterday's trash, doesn't even look me in the eye. Every single week, she used her master key to terrorize families like mine. But what she didn't know? Well, let's just say she was about to find out the hard way. See, I'm an electrician, a union guy, single dad, working double shifts so my daughter Sophia could have a real shot at Stanford. And that morning, I was done. Done playing by Karen's rules, done letting her steamroll us with her little clipboard army. I must have squeezed that coffee mug too tight because it slipped, crashed to the floor, and the sound, it echoed through my house like a gunshot, woke up every nerve in my body. What happened next, honestly, it changed everything. It destroyed Karen's life completely. Yeah, that happened. And it all started with a doorknob rigged to explode, blue paint, not C4, in case you're wondering. You ever wonder what you'd do if your HOA president kept breaking into your house? Drop revenge in the comments if you think justice needs a little help sometimes. Let me back up a sec. Here's how this whole circus started. My name's Marcus Rivera. I'm 45, union electrician, and a single dad to Sophia. She's 16, straight A's, violin, wants to be a doctor. The kid studies like her life depends on it, because, honestly, it kinda does. 18 months ago, we bought this old ranch house in Meadowbrook Estates, out in Phoenix. Needed work, sure, but had good bones. I paid every penny I had, $280,000, all in. Mornings smelled like drywall dust and cheap coffee, Sophia's violin echoing through the empty rooms while I patched holes and rewired outlets. Wasn't fancy, but it was home. Ours. Then, like a vanilla-scented tornado, Karen Whitmore blew into our lives. 8 years as HOA president, always runs unopposed because, well, nobody else is nuts enough to want the job. Real estate agent. White BMW X5 with vanity plates that scream sold. She lives in the mansion she inherited from her parents. Never earned a dime herself. You smell her coming before you see her, a mix of perfume and Marlboros. Her husband Jerry, poor guy, always apologizing for things that aren't even his fault. No kids, which, honestly, explains a lot about how she treats everyone else's. Second week after we move in, Karen shows up. Violation number 1. My pickup truck, F-150, just a ladder rack for side jobs, breaks the no commercial vehicles rule. Sophia's college fund depends on those extra gigs. $150 fine. Park it off-street, she snaps, not looking up from her precious clipboard. The crunch of gravel under her heels. Yeah, that sound haunted me for months. But Karen? She was just getting started. Monthly violations rolled in like clockwork. Mailbox too low, $200. Grass 1 inch too long, $150. Christmas lights up 3 days past deadline, $300. Every violation delivered in person, every time using her emergency master key to waltz into my house like she owned it. Here's what really boiled my blood. Mrs. Patterson, next door, lived here 15 years, never got a single violation. The Johnsons across the street, clean record. But every new family, every single parent, every person of color, suddenly Karen discovered problems everywhere. Sophia picked up on it first. Dad, she keeps talking about people like us when she thinks I'm not listening. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about rules. This was about Karen's vision of who deserved to live in her neighborhood. And apparently, a Mexican-American electrician raising his daughter alone didn't make the cut. Breaking point came 3 months in. Sophia was studying outside. Yeah, outside, because the house was a sauna and we couldn't afford the AC repair yet. Textbooks spread out on a blanket, violin case beside her. Karen shows up. Excessive use of residential lawn for non-recreational activities. For $100 fine. Sophia looks up, confused. Ma'am, I'm just. Children should study indoors. This isn't a library. My daughter, this brilliant, respectful kid, gets lectured for reading books on her own lawn. That night, Sophia asks, Dad, are we the kind of people who don't belong here? I wanted to punch a wall. Instead, I started documenting everything. Every violation, every fine, every time Karen waltzed in with that key. Because, see, Karen had just made this personal. Jerry, yeah, Karen's husband, sometimes apologized at the grocery store. She's just protecting property values, he'd mumble, staring at his shoes. Sure, Jerry. By terrorizing a single dad and his honor student. Sophia started calling Karen the vanilla vulture after she swooped in to scold her for excessive sidewalk chalk usage. It was hopscotch squares, by the way. But Karen didn't know I'm union. I know how to organize, how to fight back. And I was about to teach Meadowbrook's self-appointed queen what happens when you mess with the wrong family. 3 weeks after the study incident, Karen escalated to biological warfare. No joke, the Great Garden Genocide of Meadowbrook Estates. Sophia had this tiny garden, tomatoes, herbs, a few peppers. 94 square feet of joy for her. Every morning, she'd water it before school, checking on those tomatoes like a scientist. For a stressed-out teenager, that garden was her therapy. Karen? Not so much. I'm at work when I get a text from Sophia. Dad, you need to see this. I race home to find a violation notice staked in the yard like some medieval declaration of war. Unauthorized agricultural activities. Non-native plant species violate Meadowbrook Aesthetic Standards Clause 47B. Garden attracts vermin. $750 fine. Remove within 10 days or face legal action. Sophia's standing there, tears in her eyes. Dad, she called our food vermin bait. Karen's BMW had just peeled out, diesel fumes lingering, probably grinning like she'd conquered Europe. Now, I'm a calm guy. You have to be in electrical work. One wrong move, and you're fried. But watching my daughter's face crumble. That flipped every switch I had. Karen had picked a fight with a guy who reads the fine print. That weekend, Sophia and I camped out at the county clerk's office, digging through HOA docs like we were hunting treasure. Sophia's sharp, always has been. For hours of paperwork hell, and finally, she points to the magic words. Page 127, subsection 8C. HOA rules require 30 days written notice for any fine over $500. Karen only gave us 10. Rookie mistake, invalid violation. And then, page 94, subsection 12A. Personal food gardens under 100 square feet are exempt. Ours? 94. Monday, I file a formal appeal. Photos, measurements, citations, the works. Feeling good. Tuesday, Karen calls an emergency board meeting in the community center. Smells like burnt coffee and broken dreams. There she is with her 2 cronies, Bill Hicks, a retired bank manager who's basically her shadow, and Sandra Mills, Karen's real estate buddy. I show up with my evidence folder. Sophia's beside me looking fierce. Mr. Rivera, Karen starts, not even glancing at my stack of proof. The board has reviewed your complaint. Appeal denied. Wait, you haven't even. The board has spoken. She slams her gavel like she's Judge Judy. 7 days to comply or face legal action. Then she whips out a thick folder labeled Rivera Surveillance. She's got photos, my truck, Sophia studying outside, close-ups of our garden, and the kicker? Shots through our windows. That's not property management. That's stalking. I take my responsibilities very seriously, she says, that perfume cloud thick as ever. That's when I realized this woman wasn't just enforcing rules, she was obsessed. But electricians? We're planners. I started researching security cameras, documenting everything. If she wanted to play surveillance games, she just picked the wrong guy. And her surveillance folder? That was just the appetizer. 2 weeks later, she went full psycho. I'm out working, Sophia's at school, and suddenly my phone explodes with security alerts. Karen's in my living room, latex gloves on, opening cabinets, checking the fridge, rifling through Sophia's homework, even measuring my coffee maker. Leaves a violation. Unauthorized interior paint colors, excessive personal belongings. $1,000 fine. That night, I sent a certified letter citing Arizona trespass laws. 24 hours written notice required, master key or not. But Karen had other plans. At the next board meeting, she announces, Mr. Rivera has sent threatening correspondence. I'm creating a hostile environment. Board votes. All security cameras now require approval. Unauthorized surveillance? Another $1,000 fine. But the real twist came from an anonymous text. Check your email. A friend. The attached PDF. Meadowbrook Estates Demographic Transition Plan. Karen had been tracking every minority family, every single parent, marking us as targets for voluntary relocation through compliance pressure. Not random harassment. Not just racism. Systematic targeting. But Karen made a mistake. She targeted someone who actually reads the codes. Sophia found the HOA charter, board president term limit, 6 years. Karen served 8. Every rule, every fine for the last 2 years? Invalid. State law says they can't ban security cameras either. We held a secret meeting at Murphy's Diner. Dexter, Maya, Mrs. Chun, and Jerry, who finally turned whistleblower. Jerry slid us the bombshell: bank statements, expense reports, Karen's personal calendar. She'd billed the HOA for everything: her BMW lease, private investigators, even community inspections, aka stalking us. Yesterday she talked about filing false CPS reports against you and Sophia, Jerry said. My blood ran cold. It all clicked. She was using HOA money to keep her failing real estate business afloat, and she'd weaponize anything, including Child Protective Services, to keep her power. But Sophia had another find: Meadowbrook Property Solutions LLC, $47,000 in fake repairs, all funneled straight to Karen. Her own house was 3 months behind on mortgage payments. She was desperate, cornered, dangerous. Sophia said it best: "Dad, if we expose this now, she'll just destroy evidence. We have to catch her in the act." So that's what we planned. I built a motion-activated camera, hid it like a regular outlet cover, and coated doorknobs, switches, cabinet handles with invisible UV powder and blue paint. If Karen broke in again, she'd leave glowing blueprints everywhere. Sophia even baited her, posting on the neighborhood group that we'd be out for a violin recital. Monday night, 9:47 p.m., Karen's BMW creeps into my driveway, headlights off. She's in all black, gloves, hoodie, the whole Mission Impossible routine. She uses her master key, snoops through the house, plants little plastic bags in drawers and behind books, setting us up, no doubt. When she leaves, blue paint gets her good, on her hands, clothes, face. The cameras catch everything in 4K. As her taillights disappear, I realize this is it. Tomorrow, we bring her down. Wednesday morning, chaos. Police, CPS, even the health department, all called by Karen, all at my door. The cop, Officer Martinez, watches my footage, shakes his head. This is clearly trespassing. CPS is less impressed with Karen's claims, especially after Sophia gives her a chemistry lesson on methylene blue and flashes her Stanford early admission letter. But the big event comes Friday: emergency board meeting, Channel 12 News in the back, the county official sitting up front. Karen walks in late, still faintly blue-stained, her lawyer in tow. She launches into her speech about community standards and dangerous elements, recommends my forced removal. That's when Maria, the county official, interrupts. "Ms. Whitmore, your presidency is illegal. All decisions since 2022 are void." The room erupts. Then I stand up and play Jerry's recordings. Karen's voice, crystal clear. Plant the drug residue in the daughter's room, claim the father's running a lab, CPS will remove the kid, we get the commission. The room goes silent. Then one by one my neighbors stand up. Harassment, intimidation, fraud, they share their stories. The news cameras are rolling. The county official announces an immediate criminal investigation. Karen tries to bolt, leaves blue handprints on the door. 2 weeks later, Karen's gone. The BMW, the real estate office, her reign of terror, over. State freezes HOA accounts, prosecutor files charges, FBI opens a multi-state fraud case. Karen pleads guilty, gets 5 years probation, restitution, lifetime HOA ban. Every stolen dollar refunded. Sophia wins a $15,000 scholarship, funded by recovered HOA money. Maya takes over as president. Dexter builds digital transparency. Jerry starts fixing up the neighborhood. And Sophia? She becomes a hero, TikToks the whole thing, millions of views, inspires new laws. Block parties, laughter, violin music, real community at last. Karen thought she owned Meadowbrook. Turns out, she just reminded us how strong we are when we stand together. So what about you? Got a nightmare HOA story, or a neighbor who thought the rules didn't apply to them? Drop your wildest tale in the comments. Let's call these bullies out, share what real justice looks like, and remind folks that you don't have to face this stuff alone. Hit subscribe, and next week I'll tell you about the Walmart manager who tried to mess with my granddad. Spoiler, it didn't go well for him. Remember, document everything, know your rights, and never let the bullies win. You're stronger than you think, and you've got a whole community behind you now. Welcome to the Karen Stories family. Let's change the world, one clipboard at a time.